ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun, and I'm having a hard time holding these alligators.
You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. We Rick flaring on us. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. Jet, we Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. It's apparent these girls staring. I'm Rick flaring, gold across my chest. I'm fresh to death. I'm Paul Bearing, not at all scary. One eye open like Betty Wops and fine to these circles that's going in like a carry shot. Woo! I'm going in like a Mary Pop off that Mary Crop at the top flow at the Marriott. So questioning me is like questioning you. See, we the best dressed, so come and get blessed with the crew. Not one but two, different ways to slaughter your crew. Committed tat across the chest, I guess she blessed with the truth. People want to see them checks, representation of proof. Living through my elders, trying to resonate to the youth. But ain't nothing to get my flash on. Longevity is heavily embedded in my melanin. Layman terms, I last long. My grind repetitive, I'm smoother than real silk. Lyrical cash cow who can't cry over spilled milk. We in here. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. We Rick flaring on us. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. This ain't no normal situation, this preparation with greatness. Industry full of fakeness, it's really up for the taking. See, life is what happened to you, more so how you take it. Don't get stripped of your knowledge and mentally leave you naked. I like to live otherwise. I'm sorry that I'm fresh to death. I put the polo and apologize. See, black son, we ain't nothing like the mother guys. Quit to socialize, we organize, then we mobilize. Off the deep end like a scuba diver. And no confusion, just keep it pushing like Uber drivers. Woo! Business fresh just like a supervisor in a Gucci visor. Can't find a smoother rhymer. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. We Rick flaring on us. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us.
Yeah, DQ baby. Shout out that boy Nigga for that fire track. Hey, Black Sun, sun up. What's up, Vinny Vegas? What in Vegas? Yeah. Shout out Pharaoh's Kids, D-Phase, yeah, Bubba C, yeah, Rick flaring on them, Rick flaring on them, Rick flaring on them, Rick flaring, sun up, baby.
Hey, yo, Scotty, you going crazy for this one. We see what you're doing, we salute you. Hey, let's get it started. It's Backpack Capital One. What's in your wallet? Got a call from my man A. Scott. I said I got it. Love that you highlighting all of these black colleges. Try to pay me for doing this. Look, bruh, if you don't get off my line with that foolishness, voice of the swag, pull up where you at. No cap if the Brody is speaking the soft facts. My advice, tune in to every show. Captain Petty, but we know that the sergeants are with the smoke. Speculate, just tell me what is we doing. Get into it, okay, look, I'ma say this and keep it moving. My boy Scotty, man, he off of the leash. Black grad, paying college, I'm glad that he called me. Walking cause we all been taught that talk is cheap. Even primetime knows Scott for the HBCU streets.
What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Scotty. You already know what it is. Back again with another one, and back in the building. Happy, where we at? Happy Hump Day! I'm telling y'all, man, these days they just be flowing. They just be flowing together. It's hard to keep track of them. But happy Hump Day. Hope everybody out there is having a great Wednesday. You already know what it is. Tuesday, I just wasn't feeling it, man. I wasn't feeling it. I wasn't feeling it that day. I just like, I'm gonna kick it with the family. I'm gonna kick it with the kids. You know what I'm saying? So we just chilled out, and now we back on the grind again. All right, listen. Full-fledged show today. Full-fledged. D, don't be a hater all your life, D. Don't be a hater all your life, D. Okay? Okay? Just put it down. Okay? Put it down once in a while. Right? Full-fledged show, full pack. You know what I'm saying? We're going to talk about some stuff. Got some style stuff as well. And listen, tonight, 8 o'clock, I have really been dreading this day. I ain't going to lie to you. I really been dreading this day. Because, listen, I'm not even going to lie to you. It's been so bad, I haven't texted Mike all week. I haven't texted Mike. Today is the first day I've texted Mike just to be like, I sent him something. But I have stayed away from Mike all week, okay? I have not texted him. I ain't called him. I just like, yo, if he has called, he's on block. Getting nothing but green bubbles out here. But tonight, yeah, Mike's going to be here doing whatever Mike does. I don't know. Whatever. It just is what it is, man. Week 1 is here, okay? Week 1 is here. It just is what it is. Listen, sometimes I don't know why Mike will be on a Wednesday. Like, bro, like, we're halfway in the middle of the week. That was ages ago. Okay? That was ages. That was week 0. We're on week 1. What is there to be on one about? You get what I'm saying? Like, that was so long ago. We're on Wednesday. It's Wednesday. You know what I'm saying? We're closer to Saturday than we are to the other Saturday. You get what I'm saying? So why would he need to be? Why would he want? Why? I don't get it, man. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't understand it. It doesn't make any sense to me, but I guess. Some people just need to let stuff go. I'm just serious. Some people really need to let stuff go. Like, bro, that's like when people get 50 and they try to be 20. Like, you're closer to dying than you are to 20. Okay, let's just be clear. You're closer to dying. You're closer to death than you were to your youth. And it's the same thing I feel about week 0. We're closer to week 1 than we are to week 0. Why do you care? Why do you care, sir? Why do you care? Let it go. You had your moment. You had your time. It was on Saturday when you won. You know what I'm saying? Thank you. Let the past be the past. You know what I'm saying? I don't get it. But, whatever Mike decides to do. Already forgotten. What does God say? In the sea of forgetfulness. That's where Jesus puts it. So that's where I'm gonna put it. In the sea of forgetfulness. You get what I'm saying? Sea of forget. I've already forgotten about it. Nobody's trying to put you in the grave. I'm just saying it, but it's true though. I mean, I'm not trying to put you there. I mean, Father Time is putting you there, not me. I'm not. Mr. Cap, I hope you live a long and Abraham fruitful life. You know what I'm saying? 120. You know what I'm saying? 130. I'm not putting you there. Father Time is putting you there. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, it's how time works. All right, let's get into it today. But before I do, it's a bad day. My day has just not been well. It just hasn't been well. Because when you got PV people sending you stuff, right? It's only 10 of y'all. Maybe 15. Maybe. Okay. Some but sure. I mean, I know y'all graduating new class. So let's just say it's 17 of y'all, right? You graduated new class 17. So when people from PV are sending me something, I'm just like, this is just not a good day. It's just not a good week, right? So somebody wanted to send me this and say, we ready. So this is a PSA announcement to people from A&M, okay? A&M, in the middle of nowhere, okay? Because they love to talk about something, but then they be like, oh, we can't come because we're in the middle of nowhere, and nobody told y'all to take y'all asses to the middle of nowhere, and y'all we're not really in Houston, we're outside of Houston, okay, whatever, who cares, right? So this is what I was sent. It's pretty funny though.
My name is Ben Stewart. I'm from G County.
Now, first of all, the amount of people in this video are the same amount of people that be in the stands. I just want to be very clear. The same people you see in the video, and this is the football team. Okay, so just imagine how many. Okay, that just. He killed that. I ain't gonna hold you. When he killed that. I ain't gonna hold you. He did his thing on that one. When he threw that Drake over here, yeah, he killed that. That's Texas through and through. That's Texas through and through. That man was Texas through, and he killed that. He killed it. I give him that one. That was nice. That was nice. That was nice, though. That was nice. Oh, listen, man, you got to grade it on the curve, okay? Okay? You got to grade it on the curve. All right? When you're dealing with white people, that's how it works. Even on TikToks, you got to grade it on the curve. Because we know black people can do the same thing and it don't go viral. Or you put a white person in there and you just got to grade it on the curve. Like, oh, my God, you see that white boy with some rhythm? Oh, he was hitting, say, okay. You know what I'm saying? So you just got to grade it on the curve. You know what I'm saying? It's raining. It's a little drizzle, but it ain't too bad right now. It's a little drizzle. You know what I'm saying? But it ain't gonna stop no show out here. Shout out to Bishop Bonnet. You know what I'm saying? So that was a little PSA announcement from the 15 Prairie View fans. You know what I'm saying? I know like 6 of y'all be watching the show, so I got majority of y'all in the chat. You know what I'm saying? So that was the little PSA from PV. Like, oh, we're ready. Okay, I guess. All right. Anyway, let's move on. Now, I want to talk about this. Let me just go back real quick to this PSA announcement from Prairie View. Let me go back before I go for it. When Andrew Body beats y'all, I'm gonna hit that. I bet you won't. I'm gonna hit that. I bet you won't. I bet you. Oh yeah. I bet you. Boy, I swear for God, when Andrew Body beat y'all, I'm gonna act a damn fool. Continue. All right. Anyway, so Southern Heritage Classic, new opponent, UAPB. Now let me say this. I want to be very clear about this. I have been to the Southern Heritage Classic the last 2 years. My wife absolutely loves Memphis. Okay? She absolutely loves Memphis. She absolutely loves I think it's the Hilton. Like it's like right down the street from that strip that they have in Memphis or whatever. She absolutely loves Memphis. Okay? So if we could have gone back, she wouldn't have no quandaries about it. She absolutely loves Memphis. The food, but she loves Memphis. Now, for the past 2 years, until the situation happened with Dion trying to break the contract, I didn't know nothing about who was running this. Now, this year, listen, this Bama, if you could have asked me 2 years ago who Fred Jones Jr. A looked like, B, what his color was, or C, you know what I'm saying, was he even black or white? I didn't even know. I didn't know who this Miss Bama was, right? Now, all of a sudden, he out here like Diddy in every video. He in every video on every radio station talking about some Southern Heritage Classic. Now, my thing is, I have been to this event 2 years running. I have never seen this Bama on nothing. And if you don't believe me, you know I stay with receipts. Look at their Twitter. I want y'all Bamas to look at this Twitter. I have never, look at this Bama. He on, what is this? iHeartRadio, WDIA. He on that. What else he on? He doing listen to this foolishness.
Hi, my name is Fred Jones, and I have something to say. Friends are like diamonds, rare and priceless.
When has this ninja ever became motivational? Nothing. This Bama gonna say, friends are like diamonds, rare and priceless. Seeing you is like a diamond, rare. Now all of a sudden you out in everything. Here we go. He had another WLOK. Where's this at? Live at 9. I don't even know what it's at. He doing interview. Now look how.
Man, how long have you been throwing these? Because I can't even throw a part.
Look how awkward this Bama is. I want y'all. He is like the second cousin of Larry Robinson. I don't give a damn. Him and Larry Robinson are related because both of these ninjas are awkward. Okay. They are absolutely awkward. It's people you probably don't want to meet and have a conversation with because they don't understand human communication. Look how awkward this Bama look. Like, once again, never seen him a day in my life.
How you doing, Mr. Fred Jones? Man, how long have you been throwing these? Because I can't even throw a party with 12 people and you just take this one out. Like, how do you do that?
You work hard at it. This is our 34th year.
Wow.
And you get a lot of people. We got a lot of events. Each one of our events has a manager that manages the event, and it makes it easier to really put it all off.
How you doing, Mr. Fred?
Listen, he know what it is. He know what it is. We don't need to say it. We don't need to say it because I'm not going to give Pajo State that much credit. Right? I'm not going to give Pajo State that much credit, but we know what it is. You get what I'm saying? Like, this to me, this just shows what happens when situations don't go your way, right? When situations don't go your way, you know who you put in that. Dog, UAPB can't even fill their own stadium. And you think, first of all, I've met one couple that have met me at the Celebration Bowl of last year, and they was like, Scotty, we UAPB alums. That's the last time I've ever met anybody from a UAPB. Now, Perry, he claims Southern so much, you forget the Bama from Arkansas Pine Bluff. Let me just say that, okay? So, yeah. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. You get what I'm saying? So, you know what it is, okay? So, that's the last people I've ever met that said, oh, we're alums. We actually graduated. You feel me? So, he knows what it is. It's not going to be the same. It is just literally not going to be the same. That's all I'm going to say with this. I was like, it kept popping up on my For You page on my Twitter. I'm like, yo, I've never seen this ninja. The last 2 years, I had never seen this ninja at all. Not once. Now he is all over my For You page. I didn't know who he looked like until he got caught up in the situation. They got caught up in court, and I had to go look up who was in charge of the Southern Heritage Classic. That's when I found out what he looked like. That when he got to come out and promote, that drinks to the dumps. I'm just calling it what it is. You can say whatever you want. If this Larry Robinson double has to come out and promote the Southern Heritage Classic, you in trouble. Okay, I'll do you one better. They got Famous Amos out here. This Bama graduated from Valley. He has nothing to do Look at this. I ain't lying. He doing interviews with white women. I ain't lying. Look at all this. This is the most promotion I have ever seen for the Southern Heritage Classic. Look.
Famous, how you doing?
Famous.
Yes, sir.
I bet you won't.
How you doing? Famous, how you
Now, why is Famous Amos? How? Why? He didn't graduate from UAPB. He ain't got shit to do with Memphis. Come on, man. Come on, man. I'm just telling you. I'm telling you. It's rough out here. Okay? It is rough out here. It's rough out here in these streets. He know it. He know.
Let's do Master One and All, Mr. I bet you.
You went to Valley.
Yo, what it do, Master One and All, Mr. I bet you won't. Famous Amos, man. Look here, man. September 9th. It's going down in a major way. I bet you won't pull up, man, at the Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium. That's right, man. The big Southern Heritage Classic, brought to you by, you already know. Look, Pine Bluff, Tennessee State. Look here, man. Major movie. September 9th.
Ain't no major movie. It's a Tubi. If UAPB is headlining anything, it is no major movie. It is a Tubi. What are we talking about? It's one of those, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about? It's one of those when you log into your Amazon Fire and it be like PV or it be like UV live TV. You're like, I don't know what the hell this is. But it says free TV. That's what UAPB is. It's just like what? Like what? Okay, I mean, what is this? What is? You know what it looked like when you log into your Amazon Fire. You got your most useful apps, right? You got your YouTube, you got your Disney Plus, your Hulu, your Netflix. They are like right there. But then right behind it is all the randoms, right? It's all the randoms. FUBU, Yubu, Luvu, like all them random ass apps behind it. That's UAPB. You get what I'm? Thank you. Y'all know what I'm talking about. All them random ass apps that come right behind your favorites. You get what I'm saying? That is UAPB. Ain't no major movie. Random ass app. That's what they are. A random ass app on your Amazon Fire. That's what it is. It's okay though. It's okay. Tubi Plus, BT, Skydance, Sky Sports. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is it? I don't even know what this shit is. All that, and some. So that really, I ain't gonna lie to you. That when I saw that, I was like, they struggling. They really struggling. Listen, I don't care how much Fred paid me. Ain't no way I'm promoting that game. Because I'm not going, like, I'm not watching that. Not. Now, if you had, like, Alcorn, if you had, you know what I'm saying, Grambling, if you had, I probably would have went in Valley. I ain't gonna lie to you. If Valley was there, I probably would have went. I would have been like, you know what, this is different. I would love to seen it. I don't know about Bethune. I probably wouldn't went. Maybe Bethune, maybe. UAPB is not it for me. If Andrew was there, are we in there? If Andrew is there, we in there. Okay, we in there. Texas Southern, I'm sliding up in that joker. Now I don't know why you would don't invite PV to no classic, because if it's outside the state of Texas, 9 times out of 10 they ain't going. Ain't nobody traveling. If it's outside the state of Texas, ain't nobody traveling with PVs. Let's leave that be. But yeah, Texas Southern was in there. I would have been there. But whatever. Anyway. All right, listen. Next up. SIAC Week 1 must-see games, in my opinion. Okay, this is my opinion. I am new to Division II. So this is just, like I said, my opinion. All right. I don't know about all your Bama rivalries, and I don't know about all that stuff. So don't be trying to judge me off shit I don't know about. Oh, Scotty, you got to know we've been playing since 1785. And, you know, when we moved together to both states, I don't know none of that. I don't know none of that. All I know is I saw the matchup. I'm like, ooh, I like this matchup. Ooh, I like this matchup. Ooh, I like this matchup. So that's how I'm looking at it. So don't come to me with like, oh, Scotty, you got to know. I don't need to know nothing. I don't know it. I'm oblivious. Please, I'm just here for the football. Just here for the football, based on my little knowledge. Okay, just letting y'all know. Also tonight, off script pick'ems. All right, so tonight with me and Mike, I will be giving out the password for my pick'ems. Once again, you got to go to the website. It'll be pick'ems. You got to put the password in, right? And then you're going to be able to do the FAMU versus Paho State pick'ems, right? It's for $100 this week. Why? Because last week nobody got it right, so that 50 rolls over to this 50. Now we had $100, right? So if nobody wins next week, it's 150. So got to tune in, get the password. Get the password, go, log in, do your thing, and make sure you are part of it. All right? Make sure you locked in off script pick'ems. All right? Give yourself an opportunity. You're allowed one entry. One entry. Right? So you got to log in with your Google account and do it like that. One entry. So, and people be asking me, why is it 10 questions? Because I know how ninjas be. And never mind, I ain't even go there, but make sure you stay tuned for Wednesday show. Get it? He said, holla at me at week 10. Oh, man. But, yeah, so tune in, get the password, be a part of Aaron. But thank you, Aaron. Appreciate you for coming a member of Oscar. Appreciate you, my guy. All right, here we go. Must-see SIAC games, week 1, number 1, Thursday slate. I'm actually really excited about this game, right? I'm actually really excited about this game. This is a Thursday slate game. If this was not in Kentucky, I would have went to it. If this was not in Kentucky or Frankfort, Kentucky, I would have definitely gone to this game. The reason I'm very excited about this game, and I know a lot of people might not because they're like, oh, Clark Atlanta was bad. Both of these teams are looking for a turnaround, right? This is why this game is interesting to me. Kentucky State is going from a triple option to a spread triple option, right? Very excited to see what that looks like with Coach Huggins. Clark Atlanta is trying to come back on a rebound and see what they can do. I'm going to say this. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not a fan of the coach. I think it's Willie Slater or something like that. Listen, I'm not saying he's a bad coach. I've met him a few times. I just don't like his energy. I feel like I don't like his energy. I can't explain it. Just not a fan of his energy. So me, I like Coach Huggins. I think I'm a rock with Kentucky State on this one. I think that I know it's different, right? I know it's different to what Kentucky State will be used to doing, but I'm excited to see what it's all going to look like in that transition from being a predominantly run-first team to now being more of a balanced team, maybe even passing more than running. So I got Kentucky State winning this one. I got Kentucky State. Now, I don't know if this is an upset or not, because I know Kentucky State was pretty bad, but I got Kentucky State winning this one. It's at Frankfurt. It's at home. Yeah, man, he ain't got no energy. He is super dry. Just not a fan of it. But if his teams are tough, his teams are tough. Can't argue that. He said he gonna run that weak ass fullback gut play 7 times. All right, so that's my pick. That's my number 3 game of the week. All right, number 2. I love this matchup. I absolutely love this matchup for Albany. They're going against Wingate. Former, they just came out the playoffs. I think they beat Benedict in the playoff, if I'm not mistaken. If I am, please correct me. But Albany State going against Wingate, white school versus the HBCU. I think this is a great barometer for what Quinn Gray is trying to do at Albany State. This is a great game to come out and just see what your team is about, right? See how well this, because remember, Albany State was a run-first team as well. You add Quentin Gray Sr. there. Now they're going to try to open it up and throw it around the yard, right? So let's see what this looks like against a powerful opponent like Wingate and see what Albany State can do, because win, lose, there's no moral victories in football. We all understand that. But you can always have some type of carryover and rollover, because if you're very competitive in this game with Wingate, which are probably not the favorite to win, Wingate will probably be the favorite. If you're competitive within this game with the new offense, you can go into the SIAC conference play feeling good about yourself, right? Feeling upbeat and things like that. If you get demolished, you could be like, they can start second guessing themselves, because Albany State is used to championships. The guys that I interviewed at the SIAC media day, they had 2 rings on. So all they know is champions, right? They know championships. They don't know what second or third place looks like at Albany State for the last 3 to 4 years. So the expectations are high, right? But having a new offense and things like that, it's going to take some time, and I like to see them. I love to see out the gate you come out with a hard team and see where you guys stand at. You know what I'm saying? So absolutely love this matchup. So we'll see how this looks. You know what I'm saying, with Wingate and Albany. So we'll see how this looks. And last but not least, hey, this is the mother freaking game of the week. Sunday. This is a Sunday matchup, right? Tuskegee and that game's a Thursday matchup as well. This is a Thursday matchup as well, right? So tomorrow, check it out. This is the mother freaking game right here. Out the gate, Tuskegee, Fort Valley State. I am super excited to see what this all looks like. I'm curious to see offensively what Tuskegee is going to look like. I'm curious to see offensively what Fort Valley State looks like without Emmanuel Wilson. The coach made it very clear that we are not a one-man team. When I talked to him at SIAC Media Day, he was like, hey, everybody's asking, what are we going to do without Emmanuel? What are we going to do without Emmanuel? What are we going to do without Emmanuel? He's like, we're more than a one-player team. So Fort Valley State needs to show it on Sunday to make sure that they are not a one-man team. But I'll tell you this, Tuskegee they are loaded, okay? You're talking about a coach, Aaron James, who he said about 6 to 7 of his biggest contributors were freshmen. Now they're sophomores. They went undefeated last year in the conference. The expectation should be through the roof at Tuskegee. Right? The expectation should be through the roof in Tuskegee. They should be favored. They should be absolutely prepared and ready for this game. Tuskegee, I got Tuskegee winning this game by 10. I got Tuskegee winning this game by 10. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to tell you again, the receiver that I just lost his name at Tuskegee, I think he's absolutely a dog. What is it? It's going to come to me later in the game. But the Tuskegee wide receiver, I'm expecting big things from him. Let's see what this quarterback situation looks like in Tuskegee. And if anybody can tell me how to watch this game, I am so going to be tuned in. So if anybody can tell me how to watch it, please put it in the chat. I'm going to be locked in and tuned in, and I'll probably break it down either on Tuesday or Wednesday midday. All right, so I got Golden Tigers by 4. I got Tuskegee by 10. I think Fort Valley State is still a good all-around team, but I'm definitely excited. Ain't with me for life. I think it's on ESPN. All right, I'm gonna check. Hopefully it is. ESPN Plus should have it. Okay. All right, I'm definitely gonna check that out on ESPN Plus on Sunday. All right, so those are my SIAC games of the week. You got Wingate and Albany. You got Kentucky State and Clark Atlanta, and then you got the main one, Tuskegee versus Fort Valley State. Definitely be locked into those matchups. See what they bring in. Now, last but not least, the main event, right? This is huge news. Now, Apple, it's not confirmed. So I don't want anybody to say, oh, hey, Scotty saying it's not confirmed. Okay. What I am saying that it's in the process, it's in the works of probably being one of the biggest deals of the century, with Apple purchasing ESPN from Disney. Because remember, it's a subsidiary in the Disney brand, right? ESPN is actually, from my last knowledge, is working in the red. And Disney is trying to get it off of his books because of the simple fact of what the ESPN model, as times have changed and things have gone more and more to streaming, the ESPN model is no longer being profitable, just being a broadcasting network that is strictly on linear television. So Disney is trying to cut ties with ESPN, and Apple is looking to purchase that said tie. Now, there is, once again, there is, it says Apple buying ESPN is inevitable. All right. Straight Thanos style. Straight Thanos. All right. Wall Street insider claims. Now, this is from the article. It says Apple also has absurdly deep pockets. We're talking about a company with a 2.73 trillion market cap. It has the money to do just about anything it wants. If Apple wants to get into live sports, finding the cash to buy a network will be the easy part. The tech giant could come in, buy ESPN, trim the fat, and attempt to get the network back to its old ways. Now, I think there's a lot in those two paragraphs, especially the last paragraph where it says Apple could come in, buy the network, trim the fat, and bring it back to its prosperity. Now, listen, the one thing that I've learned about business is that sometimes you can have an emotional tie to something for too long. It can be your detriment, right? So you can hold on, maybe if it's Blockbuster and not wanting to go to streaming or not wanting to do the Netflix model and saying, hey, people are always going to buy VHSs. People are always going to come in and want to pick out their movie for the night. And then Netflix comes along and you're like, yo, I can do it at the comfort of my own home. It's different, right? I think there's a part of ESPN's business model, right, that they're having a hard time letting it go. And I think if Apple comes in and buys ESPN, there's a lot of ties that I feel that they won't be connected to. And they're just trying to make it a profitable business at that point in time. So I would not be surprised if you don't see the same linear concerns for an Apple buy, right? So what I mean by that is Apple gets into it. They don't see the same benefits of being linear. Why? Because most of what Apple is already doing is streaming. Apple literally has something called Apple TV. So they're like, yo, we don't need linear as much as ESPN and Disney needed it, right? Because our whole base is streaming at this point in time. So you might, and what I mean by this, I want to be very careful what I'm saying is, right? They might leave the main ESPN channel on a linear broadcast, but ESPNU, ESPN2, ESPN3, all that, they're probably going to push all that to streaming and put it behind a paywall. Because, and I'm jumping a little ahead of myself, is I'm going to give you a couple good and bad reasons for this, right? The bad one. Apple, listen to me when I tell you, I'm not calling myself a prophet. I'm not calling myself a psychic. But I tell you this, Apple does not give a damn about your pockets. Apple will not care anything about the price of subscription, right? See, the thing about ESPN is that they're like, hey, you know, we can't charge too much for this. Apple don't give a damn. Apple gonna tell you, this is the price. You're either going to pay it or you're not, because we have the rights to it. So if you want to see this, oh, you better come out of pocket. You better pay for this. There is no, oh, $9.99 and oh da. It's none of that. It's going to be none of that, because at the end of the day, if more people are heading to the streaming platform, if I'm trimming the fat, right? If I'm trimming the fat, I'm going to put most of the content behind a paywall. It just is what it is. Now, is the are the expenses going to be like, is it going to drown Apple? Absolutely not, right? But in the same token, they're going to do whatever possible to turn this into a profitable business model. And I see what Mr. Campbell is saying, but that's not Apple's. That's not their concern. In my opinion, that wouldn't be Apple's concern, right? Of, oh, they have a broadcast that needs to be on this and needs to be on that. No, like, we'll put you on ESPN, but all the other games that we have rights to, we will happily divert you to streaming. Because if you have Hulu live television, right, now you're going to have Apple live TV. It's the same thing to me. You have YouTube live TV. Where do you watch that? On a streaming platform. I watch all my Dallas Cowboys games on YouTube TV. I watch all of ESPN or what, it's on YouTube TV, Hulu Live, Sling. All they're going to do is add you Apple Live TV and put you on on Apple Live TV, where you're going to have to pay $49.99 or $59.99 to see a certain product. That just is what it is. And if you want to see that product, you will pay. It's very much that simple. So they're going to, I love this. They're going to nickel and dime you every possible way, adding packages, adding ESPN2, adding ESPN3, adding ESPNU. You know what I'm saying? Apple is in the business of making money. That's why they don't always have the best products, but they're always there. But their price, the way they do business, is just going to be different. So let me tell you this. So number 2, with Apple looking to trim the fat, where does that leave FCS football? I want y'all to think about that, because that is, I'm not saying they are, or I'm not saying they will or will not. I'm just saying that is something to think about, right? Is that with them trimming the fat, what does trimming the fat look like? In what aspects? Could it be, like I said, with the linear channels coming off of linear TV? Could it be FCS football in general of, you know what I'm saying, not promoting the product or taking it off the product or not paying for those rights or coming up with something like that? What does that look like going forward when it comes to trimming the fat? Once again, who knows? Who knows what, yes or no, yay or nay, whatever, right? The good. The attention to detail that Apple places on its look and ease of use is Chick-fil-A good, right? The one thing that Steve Jobs always cared about, and it's the Apple mantra, is the ease, the seamlessness of something. The like, Apple iOS doesn't even allow you to put an app on it if it's too convoluted, right? That's just, Apple is always about the user, right? It's so user friendly. That's how they stick with you for so long, because it's just so seamless. It's just so easy to use. You get it. It's self-explanatory. You can move through it real easy. So how Apple's mantra in that is going to be night and day with the product, right? So how it looks, how it comes off, how you're navigating, it's going to be so beautiful. It's like an Italian. Mamma mia! It's going to be so dope, because that is what Apple prides itself on, in the seamlessness of how things look and how easy it is for the user, right? So you gotta Gotta love that. All right. And the last thing, right? Don't be surprised. I'm saying this, right? Monkey see, monkey do. Don't be surprised if you see Amazon try to jump into live sports as well after this move, right? Because those are battling entities, right? Apple, phone, computer, all that type of stuff. Amazon getting to Amazon Echoes and TVs and all that type of stuff. Amazon Fire. Don't be surprised if you see Amazon try to dip its toe into live sports and adding that into the brand of what they do, which is great for products like FCS because now you have a marketplace that you can go to and say, hey, Apple doesn't want us. Okay, Apple has all these rights. Let's go to Amazon. They still need live sports, right? So don't be surprised if you see Amazon step into this boat of live sports. And I know, right? NFL is just, to me, okay, the NFL sells itself, right? So I want to be very clear about that. NFL sells itself. The thing about what I'm talking about is getting into volleyball, getting into like college football, college basketball, getting into that. The NFL market sells itself, right? Like that's you just kind of, it's like buying a McDonald's, right? You don't have to sell a McDonald's. It's like McDonald's. It's McDonald's. The name alone is going to draw eyes, right? The NFL is like a McDonald's. Like it's too easy. When you're talking about buying into sports rights and buying into different things like that, it's now promoting it. It's getting behind it. That's what I'm saying. When you say trim the fat, what does that look like? Are you going to mess with a whack? Are you going to promote the Mac? Are you going to like that's what I'm saying? Like those type of things is where you kind of got to like navigate, right? Like you're just like, what is trimming the fat? What does that look like in regards to all the sports and everything that think about, you got to look at what all ESPN does. See, that's the part that I think people are so hyper focused on football and basketball. They show badminton. They show the little game with the sandbags. They show axe throwing. They show water polo. They show so much. They are the sports network. So what does trim the fat really mean? That's my thing. Ice skating, they show so much, right? What does that look like now that ESPN that Apple steps into that role of or buys ESPN? What don't they thank you, the hot dog eating contest, right? So when I'm talking about Amazon stepping into live sports, I'm talking about Amazon stepping into buying the rights of a conference. I'm talking about Amazon buying the rights to, a certain sport or a certain aspect within live sports. Going to NFL, like I said, it's like buying a McDonald's. It's like, it's going to sell itself. When you're asking people to be a part of a bigger entity in its entirety, it's just a little different to me, right? Just a little different. This is my little part. That's a little 2 cents. All right. Call lines are open, 518-263-8124, 518-263-8124. Let me say this. I've been saying this for a long time. And if anybody has been watching me for as long as I've been saying it, the ESPN contract is coming up. And I have been banging on the table saying that the SWAC should have been negotiating with Apple TV, right? Because to me, if you would have gotten with Apple TV, because you got NFL Network, they probably want to move over to some stuff or whatever. Because I think one of the games, I think the Hampton and Grambling game is being broadcast by the NFL Network. So that lets you know the NFL Network is trying to move its way into some, outside of the network, just broadcasting football games, right? But if you could have moved over to Apple TV early in the process, because if you look at the landscape, if you look at the landscape, and people was calling me crazy. Thank you, JB. Thank you, JB. Right? Reese, I don't see this is my personal opinion. The SWAC loses his leverage. This is I'm gonna just say it. I'm gonna say it. If Apple buys ESPN, that means I've already got the SWAC contract in my hand. Me buying ESPN, I get all of what came with it. That means I get, when you're paying for a company, or let's say you're paying for a shirt company, right? You can say, hey, I don't want this, I don't want that, I don't want this, or you can just buy everything, including the equipment, the inventory, everything. So if Apple is buying ESPN, ESPN's trying to sell all of its inventory, which includes the SWAC. Already. So I don't need, you cannot come back to me and renegotiate with me. It's a little different. I'm saying it's going to be a little bit different when Apple already owns your contract and your rights, and they might be looking to trim the fat when you could have partnered with them earlier before they decided to get with ESPN, right? And probably got a better deal outside of the ESPN deal and just say, hey, we're trying to do this, blah, 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 whatever. So I'm not saying it's off the table because the deal has not been done yet, but it's not looking too good, in my personal opinion. I don't think that deal is going to look too good for the SWAC for trying to, if they tried to move over to Apple TV. That's what I'm saying. Instead of you partnering with HBCU Go, and I'm gonna go to JB and I'm gonna get back onto that. What's up, JB? I'm coming to you.
Hey, Scotty, how you doing, sir?
What's up, man?
Hey, bro, let me give you your flowers. Now, man, you did call the Apple TV deal a few months ago. You did say, you know what, you need to go ahead and try to do this, try to get up under the thumb of ESPN, but for some reason we didn't want to do that, and I really don't know why. But then the other point you made too just now about if Apple goes through with this, they do hold the all the currently existing deals.
Yeah.
And so this goes to, I think it's something that you made or that Mr. Campbell made a few weeks ago about you're getting paid one thing, because I was going to do his homework and see how much the other conferences are already being paid. If you're asking for like a 10 to 20 time raise or bump in terms of what you're getting per school, what motive does Apple have to pay you that much money? I can't think of one right now.
Yeah.
But then this also puts, so I'll go one step further with this. Before this goes down, with all the games that are going to be on streaming on ESPN Plus, whatever this year, make sure folks who are listening, all the listeners of our, as before I make a point, folks, please like the stream. Whatever you guys do, make sure you have your laptops, your cell phones, your Chromebooks, whatever. Make sure you have it on ESPN Plus and watching our games, because we need to show people, if you're going to ask for more money, you're going to ask for more things, you need to show that your product is viable. Make sure your product is good. Make sure that you're getting more views than any other FCS conference out there, because we all know FCS football is not really taking the numbers home that they're supposed to. So make sure that we are worth the extra coins. Make sure that, hey, you know what, if you're going to do this, make sure that we are something that you cannot live without.
I agree.
And that's all I got.
No, I agree, JB, man. Appreciate the call, bro.
Thank you, sir.
No problem. And I once again I did a video, I think about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I said the divorce between ESPN and HBCU football. When you're trying to run a business, right? And you can't hold on to everything. So trimming the fat is going to, you might think the SWAC is all that in a bag of chips, but in the grand scheme of those things, it's a small bag of chips, right? It's a small bag. You got a party size and you got the fun size, right? So they're like, hey, we still got the party size. We can keep that and still maintain or still do what we do and still be the big dogs in this thing, right? What you did was, what ESPN did was, which I think is super smart, is why, okay, we're trying to build our ESPN Plus platform, why not take all of FCS and put it on there? So that one is behind a paywall. They got to pay us to see it. And two, we know there is a want and market for it. It's just not as big as the big boys, which was genius. Absolutely genius. I'm going to take the little dog and make people who want to watch the little dogs pay to watch them. It's a genius motive. And then when you add Dion to the mix, it catapulted the ESPN platform even more, because why? I'm gonna still keep you behind the ESPN Plus paywall now, because I know you want to see what Dion's doing. I know you want to see what Jackson State is all about. So now you're gonna pay for it just to pay for it, for one game, for one team, right? So you have that. Now let me say this. Think about it like this. If Apple decides to take the majority of its rights, listen to me. I just want you guys to understand what I'm saying, and I'm trying to break it down to the minimalist idea. If Apple is going to trim the fat, this is all hypothetical, right? But if Apple decides to trim the fat and starts putting the big boys behind a paywall, I don't need FCS anymore. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? I just want to make it very clear. ESPN used FCS football to build its ESPN platform, right? I'm gonna move it over there, push it over there. People are gonna go watch it, blah, blah, blah. If Apple takes it and Apple puts the big boys behind paywalls, I no longer need FCS football to power my online streaming platform. Why? Because I have fans with a bigger base, with more eyeballs to be on my streaming platform. So instead of me, and I'll give it to you like this. So instead of me having 100,000 eyes for a Jackson State and Southern game, I'm going to have 1 million eyes with Oklahoma and Texas. You get what I'm saying? Or if it's Texas against Kansas State, right? It's going to be 500,000 to 1 million eyes. You get what I'm saying? So it just is what it is. It just is what it is. So I'm just calling a spade a spade. It's possible. It's all possible. It's all possible in the grand scheme of things. Not happening. The contract games have to be on linear TV. Listen, I'll tell you what. Apple will figure a way out of it. With any contract, Apple will figure a way out of it. If it could be in the sense of, okay, we'll play these contracts out. You know what I'm saying? And once the contract's up, what does that look like on the back end? You know what I'm saying? So if that's what the contract states, that's what the contract states. if that's what the contract states, that's what the contract states. But if Apple gets into it, listen, 9 times out of 10, if it's a bad, if linear TV is becoming, because you can't, listen, people are not buying cable like they used to. That just is what it is. That just is what it is. People are not buying cable like they once did, and internet is becoming more feasible. So why am I going to continue to put money into something that is sooner or later going to die? Cable, in the sense, is just like newspapers. Sooner or later, you're going to be obsolete. You're going to be in the background of the situation. You're not going to be in the forefront anymore. So that's what linear cable is. So whatever these contracts say about being on linear TV, if Apple can prove it differently to where I can make you the same amount of money, or because I'll tell you one thing, I'm going to say this. The market cap has to change, right? I'm going to say this. I'm going to keep saying it. The market cap is going to have to change. In my personal opinion, it's going to be how the quarterback situation in the NFL is, to where it's just like it's getting outrageous, right? It's literally getting outrageous. Apple and the streaming networks and platforms are going to rewrite the advertising model. They just are, because it's going to get, unless the money just circumvents the system to where it's like we're getting so much money in streaming that we can still pay those absorbent amount of prices. The market cap is going to flip. It's going to be like a housing crisis where it's going to pop, and it's going to revert back to where maybe it's 30 million a school now or 50 million a school now, depending on how the advertising budget and things like that find a way to, balance itself out. Because I'm telling you right now, if it's so many variables to this thing, right? It's so many variables to this thing, because you have the sense of like this. If everything is about exposure, stay with me. If everything is about exposure, and you start having more streaming companies step into live sports and live events, and you have to pay to see them, doesn't that make everybody underneath the same umbrella? If it's about exposure, I'm just saying, because you think about it. The reason that most of these schools, the reason that some of these schools don't get the eyes or whatever is because, exposure. But if you start putting everybody behind a paywall, then my question will be to you, what is the excuse? Because if ESPN is on his deathbed right now, you can say whatever you want. ESPN is on his deathbed, and you can say however you want to say it, talking about, we have to be on ESPN. We have to be on ESPN. We have to. ESPN is in a coma. It is on its deathbed at this present moment in time. So my question to you is, what is the next excuse? What is the next excuse for why you're partnering with certain companies, or why kids aren't getting drafted? I just think there's about to be a whirlwind of newness that is going to come to the world of live sports and entertainment. I don't know what that's going to look like in the future, but the previous models are dying. Think about, I need y'all to understand what I'm saying, please, and I hope you're getting it. The NFL Network said, hey, we'll put our Thursday night games behind a paywall. Think about that. The NFL has always been an open source platform, free 99. The NFL and all the money that they make, they're saying, you know what? We need an NFL Plus. We need to put you behind a paywall. They might even put the Super Bowl behind a paywall. I'm not telling you what. Listen, when people see money, they get greedy. And when you know there's a product that people are fiending for, you are trying to figure out a way to make more money. I do not care what the contract says about being on linear television. If I can make twice as much off one game, I am going to do that. If Texas versus Oklahoma makes me $100 million, putting it on national television for free, how much you think I will make if I put it behind a paywall and charge you $20? I'm telling you, listen to me. If the Texas and Oklahoma game, if it makes me $100 million for free just to put it on, just to put the game on, from advertisers, from all that, How much do you think how much money you think I'm gonna make if I put that game behind a paywall and I charge you $19.99 to see it? How much you think I'm gonna make? I'm gonna make twice as much. Plus, I'm gonna get advertising dollars to advertise while the game is going on. So I'm gonna double tap you. I'm gonna get the money from advertising and I'm gonna get the money from the paywall. See, what you're so used to is what it's always been, right? You're like, there's no way. I'm telling you, you're going to look like Blockbuster if you're not seeing it before it happens. If you're not seeing it before it happens, I'm telling you right now, you're going to end up like Blockbuster on the outside looking in like, how did I not see this? I promise you, your favorite games are going to be behind a paywall. Your favorite games are going to be behind a paywall. Why is that? Because I know you're going to pay for it. Imagine if Ohio State and Michigan was behind a paywall. This ain't rocket science. It's business, and it's a damn good business model. You might not agree to it, you might not like it, but it's a smart-ass business model. If I put Ohio State and Michigan behind a paywall, how much money do you think I'm going to make? If I was, see, this is the thing. People are going to say it like this, right? Let's say, let me see what Ohio State, Michigan did last year. Let me see what Ohio State and Michigan did last year. Ohio State and Michigan, 2022 viewership. Oh my God, I'm about to kill y'all with this one. All right. So imagine this. Imagine this, right? 17 million people. Now, 17 million people watch this game. 17 million viewers watch this game, right? Right? If I put this game behind a paywall and I only get 8 million, but I get 8 million at $19.99 or $9.99, come on, man. Come on, man. It's not rocket science. It's a great business model. I'm okay to lose 7 million people that can't afford to pay for, that won't pay for the game. Right? I'm okay. But if schools are expecting, this is off one game. So if schools are expecting to get $100 million payouts, understand you're going to start paying for that. You're going to start paying for that. That is what's going to happen. So you might not like it. You might not agree with it, but that's what it's going to be. Somebody talking about Oklahoma's not going to go for that. Listen, what is Oklahoma going to do? Okay, you can become the Pac-12 network. You can become the BYU network. You become the Oklahoma network. That's fine. But you can have your whatever you do, you can have that. But when you're dealing with a company as big as Apple, you're not going to mess up their bottom line. Because you were never their bottom line. Apple is synonymous with the culture. So if this is the thing that you're gonna like, if I'm Apple, you can't press me. If I'm Apple, you cannot press me. You can't press me. You can't press me for more money. You're not my bottom line. ESPN is when Texas and Oklahoma, they can press ESPN because why? You need me. That's why the SEC and the Big Ten can do what it does, because Fox and CBS and they need them. Apple, Amazon do not need them. We are bigger than you. We don't need you. And the money that you're looking to get from us, right? So if, let's say, I give it to you like this. Man, I didn't think I was going to get this deep with it. I'll give it to you like this, right? You can agree or disagree. It pays me no, never mind, right? The thing about it is like this. If I'm Apple, and listen, I just need y'all to listen to me. If I'm Apple, and let's just say the Pac-12 network has 8 schools, right? Pac-12 network has 8. Apple can outbid any media entity. Did you not read when it says they have a $2.7 trillion market cap? $2.7 trillion market cap. So they can outbid whomever you think of. But understand what that's going to come with. Understand what that is going to come with. So if CBS is paying the schools $100 million and Apple comes in you and says, hey, I'll pay you $150 million. I'll pay you $150 million, but understand you're going to be behind a paywall. You don't think the schools are going to be like, okay. You don't think the schools are going to agree to that? I'm just asking. I'm just asking for a fan. If it's about the money, because remember, Dion even said it, it's about the money. The reason schools are jumping from conference to conference to conference to conference is about the money. So Apple got the money. They're just going to have restrictions on you to be like, hey, listen, yeah, I get it. You know, hey, that's what you want, but we're going to put you on Apple TV. You're not going to be on linear TV. We're going to put you on Apple TV. So your fans are going to have to pay to see you, but I'll pay you $150 million per school. I'll pay you $200 million per school. That's nothing. That's nothing. But you're going to be behind this paywall. Okay. Keep thinking that. I'm telling you. I'm telling y'all. Keep thinking that. I just want y'all to keep thinking that. I want y'all to keep thinking that. Because I'm telling you right now, if the money is there, oh my God. You have to pay to see anybody play. I want to be very clear about this right now, right? Most of you Bamas have to pay something to see something. Okay, so the days of you thinking it's free to watch something, you either paying for cable or you're paying for streaming, but you're paying for something to watch something. So get that out your mind that it's free. None of you Bamas got an antenna hooked up in your house getting 10 channels. None of y'all Bamas got that. All you ninjas are paying to see something. It is what it is. So get that out your mind. But keep thinking this. I'm telling you, keep thinking this. Keep thinking this. Thank you, Smash. Thank you, Smash. They could fail and keep it pushing like nothing ever happened. Like nothing ever happened. Oh, we tried. I'm telling y'all. I'm telling you. Thank you, JB. Nothing is free. So to get that out your mind that, oh my God, if it's not on linear TV, you already paying. ESPN ain't free. You ain't got an antenna plugged to the back of your house and getting ESPN. It ain't happening. You ain't doing it. Put all them jokers, put them behind a double paywall. If Apple is paying SWAC schools $150 million, put every school, put each school individually behind the paywall. I wouldn't give two shits. If I'm the commissioner, If Apple came to me, if I'm the commish, right? Apple came to me and said, hey, Scotty, we want to give the SWAC schools $90 million each. I'd be like, put them niggas behind double paywalls. I don't give a damn. Put them behind double. I don't give a damn. Nobody watched the game. I don't give a damn if nobody watched the game. We good. Okay? We good. We Gucci. $90 million, we doing something. Each school? Shit. Yeah, nah. Okay? Nah, we winning all that. We just listen. Put all them ninjas behind a paywall. I don't care. Every school got its own paywall. If you want to watch Powell State, that's $10. You want to watch Southern, that's $9. If you want to watch Jackson play Southern, that's $20. Hey, you gotta pay for everything. A la carte, okay? A la carte. You gotta pay for everything. Okay, but teach his own. $90 million? $90 million? Man, all y'all bet was paying for something. Thank you, Miss Griffin. Thank you so much. Absolutely, thank you. But that's just my little 2 cents. I don't want you guys. Listen, man. I'm gonna get really extreme real quick, and it's just on me to say this, right? If you're not biblical, if you're not Christian or whatever, you can happily move on, right? You don't have to. You can really click off right here. So I'm gonna give you a chance. If you don't want to hear no Christian talk, okay, or biblical talk, you can hang up right here. I'm not gonna get upset. Cut the stream, whatever, whoop-de-whoop, and we'll move on. I'm gonna give you some time.
If I make you feel some type of way, if low-key you just here to hate.
Okay, now I'm giving you an opportunity. So I don't want to see no crazy stuff. I don't want to see no crazy stuff in my chat. I gave you the opportunity to walk your happy ass away. You ain't got to hear none of this, so you can click off right now. Okay, if you know anything about the Bible, in the end times, right? It's called the mark of the beast, right? But you can't just do stuff like that, right? The mark of the beast is like putting 666 on your forehead or 666 on your hand or whatever to live. Like that's what in the end times of the Bible it says, like you're gonna have to put the mark of the beast to live, to go and do things day to day to day to day to even be able to do things, right? Well, you can't just one day come out the blue and say, hey, everybody needs this or whatever. It takes time to condition people in a way so that they accept it, right? So it's like you go from cash to card, from card to chip, right? To chip in your cards, where all you do is you start chipping things. You just tap your card, right? And then it goes from being in the card to now being on your wallet, right? Or being on your phone. And then from going from your phone to being in your hand or being inside your body, right? So there's a process, because if you went to cash and said, hey, tomorrow we're microchipping people, that must be like, what the hell? Microchip? I'm not doing that. I like my cash, right? So it takes time. It takes time to condition people to say, hey, this is okay, or hey, this is acceptable. This is not crazy. This is nothing new. They're doing this, they're doing that, right? So you got to get people conditioned. It's the same thing. I know I went, that's why I said I was going extreme, right? I'm going extreme to come back. The reason I'm saying this is because the streaming process is going to start conditioning you to pay to watch. That is just what it is, right? And I'm not telling you something that is not coming down the pipe. It's coming. You might not agree. You might not like it, but it's coming. Just like if you talk to people in 1950, you could never have told them that you could pay for something, right? With a card, with a card. If you told people in 1950 that you could walk up and pay for groceries or whatever with a card, they'd be like, you're smoking crack. In the 1960s, in the 1970s, in the 1980s, in the 90s, right? Credit cards started getting more popular. But if you went back to the 60s and 70s and told people about, pay, they would call you crazy. It's the same thing with paying to watch for things. as time moves on and linear TV gets more and more and more like pushed back and like, oh, we're not doing that. We're cord cutting, as they say. I'm telling you what I'm just telling you what I'm feeling. Be on the lookout to you paying for literally everything. Smash, coming to you. What's up, Smash? Smash. Smash, you live.
Hello?
Yeah, you live.
You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I think the people in the tech.
Hey, Smash. Call back. You're breaking up real bad. Smash. Call back. Hey, Mr. Benjamin, coming to you. What's up?
Hey, Mr. Scotty. You're not going to the extreme. You're not speaking crazy. You're just pointing out facts. There are already stores that if they don't recognize your facial recognition, you're not even allowed to come into certain grocery stores and they won't open things up. The fact of the matter is, like you said, all you have to do is follow the money. If you look at, I'll give an example. If Alabama and UGA made it to the national championship and college football, and you put that behind the paywall, how many people are going to pay for that?
Come on.
A ton.
A ton
of people are going to pay for that because they're going to be betting on FanDuel or whatever, and they're going to be watching. That's a ton of money. So what you're saying is not something that is brand new. We've seen it. You just pointed it out, Blockbuster. So I think people need to recognize that, if it makes dollars, it's going to make sense. But thank you for all the work you do. God bless you and your family. Keep up the good work.
Hey, appreciate it, Mr. Benjamin. Yeah, I didn't want to, like I said, that's why I gave a disclaimer, because I don't want to put anybody, I don't want people to listen if that's not something you believe in. I don't want to force nothing on you or something like that. But I'm just telling you what I feel. I'm really just telling you what I feel and what's coming to my mind. And it's coming. I'm telling you, it is coming to where major events are going to be pay-per-view. It just is, because you're going to be so conditioned. Why? Because you're so used to paying for stuff, and they probably won't even break your bank. Like, like with boxing, it's always like $99.99, right? Because they do that with boxing because they know they got to get as much money as they can for whoever decides to watch it, right? So I get that. But when you're talking about a live sport like a Georgia and Alabama with everybody, I don't have to hit you over the head. I can charge you $4.99. If I charge you $4.99 to see the national championship game, you can be like, oh, hell yeah, I'll pay for that. You ain't going to trip. If I charge you $9.99, you can be like, for a national championship game, hell yeah, I'll pay for that. For the Super Bowl, you'll pay $9.99 for the Super Bowl. So I don't care what you're talking about. I don't care if you agree. You would pay. And that's where that second dose of money is going to come from when advertisers and things start reeling back. I'm telling y'all. Smash, coming to you.
Scotty, I think you can hear me now?
Yeah, perfectly.
I think that people just don't get it because they haven't seen the perks of streaming. Like, so they haven't been like YouTubers like us are worked in the space. Like when you say Apple alone, like all Apple literally has to do is say something crazy. Like if you have an Apple product or Apple iPhone or like an Apple TV or something, just put your code in and you get this app for free.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? They're making their money. They may tax it. If it's $20, if it's $20 a game, they say y'all pay $20 a season. They could just up tax you $2 and some cents that you probably wouldn't even pay attention to and take their money from that way. That's so simple. If nobody can get exactly what you're saying, they can't fail. They have their money too long to fail. It's just like, okay, we're just gonna buy this from them, try it out, and if it doesn't work, oh well, keep going to what we're doing. Like it's just really that simple. Let's not talk about the people, the advertisers. Okay. Shit, if Apple probably, let me back up a little bit. Let's say like Sony, like I was telling the dude who rap in the city of New Orleans about like how big these companies are. Sony owns the Pro Tools that you recorded your song on. Sony owns the speakers that you use to listen to this beat on the studio. Sony owns the camera I shot the video with. You feel where I'm going at with that? They listen, and now you want a record label from who? Just think about it.
That's
Sony.
crazy.
If Apple do the same thing, and Apple has so many shares in what? Sony. So it's like just trying to explain to people how you're not far-fetched. It's just you understand what most people don't. And if anybody arguing with you on this, when you get that market of beaches up, I say, oh, I know where he's going with this. Because they tell us, you can't own money unless you have a chip on your arm. What you gonna say?
What you gonna say?
You feel me? Like you gonna say you're gonna be broke, or you have to have this chip to get in. I just came from Amsterdam 3 or 4 weeks ago, and you had to get you had to scan your passport, and you had to get your face scan. If you didn't want your face scan, guess what? I'm gonna be stuck at in Amsterdam. You know what I'm saying? So it's just as simple as that, bro. Streaming is the way of the future, and digital is the way of the future. I'm sorry that y'all favorite person, y'all favorite channel, ESPN, is going out bad because they don't want to change the way of the times, but they're going to have to. There's going to be no more ESPN. It's going to be something else. So that's my time, Scotty. I get exactly what you're saying. And then we ain't talking about back-end money. Like, we ain't talking about people who, like, the advertisers that's like, okay, shit, I'm going to just put my money wherever the people watching it.
Yeah.
And if all the people watching on streaming, well, guess what? And they probably use Apple products to shoot those commercials. We didn't want to talk about that, but anyway, I'm going, Scotty.
No problem, bro. Appreciate you. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? And Reese, I'm gonna get to you real quick. And think about it like this. I love what Smash said about upcharging, right? So if you got, I'm telling you, this is what Apple's going to do. If you got Apple Music and you want to buy Apple Live Sports, or if you have Apple TV and you want to add live sports, just pay another $9.99. You get what I'm saying? Like, all they're gonna do is they're gonna get you like that, and it's so easy. And then you're gonna be able to live stream whatever you want directly to your phone. You see my beautiful wife on that thing. You know what I'm saying? I absolutely love this picture of her. You know what I'm saying? So you're gonna be able to stream whatever you want live to your phone. Who wouldn't want that? Come on, man. That you wouldn't even see that. You wouldn't even see it. Hey, Reese, coming to you. Reese, you live.
Yo. Yeah, you just said what I was about to say. Apple's already doing it. Think about it. You got iCloud, Apple Music, Apple Arcade, Apple TV. See, by the time you got all that, that's $20, $30 right there. And I just looked it up. They got something called Apple One, where they bundle all the subscriptions into one package.
Yeah.
And if they got ESPN, like you said, they can add extra $10 to it, and you're not going to think about it because you're already paying for the extra stuff.
Yeah.
So now you're paying an additional $40 for ESPN on top of your other subscriptions that you already paying for Netflix and all that stuff. I mean, you're already conditioned to it, and so it's going to happen.
I like that, Reese. And the thing about it, like this, because Apple, I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm glad you said it because they almost got me. They were like, "Hey, Scotty, if you do Apple One, you'll save $8." You know, like that's what they say. If you package it all up and come to Apple One, you'll save $8. And I was like, nah, I'm good. I like to individually keep stuff so I can delete.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But that's how they get people. So it's no different than if they added live sports and they say, hey, on Apple One, if you add it together, you'll save $10, or we'll do a promotion, right? If in the first 30, like let's say they buy the media rights, right? And they'll come to you on Apple and they push it out or whatever. They say, if you sign up for Apple Live Sports for the next 30 days, instead of you paying $99.99, you can get it for $49.99. Everybody gonna be like, hell yeah, let me get up on it. You get what I'm saying, man? I'm like, it just is what it is.
But you know, Apple's notorious for hitting you with hidden fees. Like they'll just keep hitting you with like $2.99 charges every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You're not gonna think about such a minute charge.
Yeah.
I'm saying, look at the thing, man. I'm telling you, Apple, they'll hit you every 2 weeks with subscription and you don't realize it. Apple's a nickel and diamond company, and they're going to nickel and dime you for ESPN. I'm telling you that now.
Oh man, appreciate the call, Reese. I'm glad a few of you guys see where I'm going with this and understand the logic that I'm putting behind it. But that's just a little too soon. I know I apologize for getting so deep, but it's called Off Script for a damn reason. Okay, it's called Off Script for a reason. Okay, and my new shirt says, I think it says like always on point but never on topic. Oh man, always on point, but never on topic. But that was my little 2 cents, guys. So I'm gonna just leave it at that. Listen, tonight, tonight, it you know what it is, man. I ain't even really got to talk about it. Tonight, Wednesday, 8:00. Mike will be on the show. Jesus Christ, man. I already had to deal one time with it just going live with a post game. I got to deal with Mike. And let me just say this. And I know a lot of you Bamas are going to be like, whatever. I don't know why people go live with me on Wednesdays. I feel like I feel like, you know, when you would, like, back in the day where, like, certain shows, like, you just don't go live on those shows, like, you don't do that. These are you are damn right. I swear to God, Apple stay popping up on my credit card. I'm like, I'm like $199. What I pay for? I'm like, what? But I don't know why people go. I don't know why people go live with me on Wednesdays. I think that's a battle you just don't want to win. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's all about the views, right? It's all about the views. Everybody, we talking about primetime television, right? We fighting for the primetime spot Wednesday at night. I don't understand. I think it's in people's best interest to, like, pick Thursday or Tuesday. You know what I'm saying? I just give you that free advice. That's just free advice. All right. So listen, guys, that's been my time. You already know what it is tonight. Make sure you tune back in 8:00. Don't be late. Make sure you're tuned in for the off-script pick'ems as well. Opportunity to win $100 on the pick'ems. Nice, fun game. All right. Listen, until next time, you know what I'm going to do. I'm a holler. God bless.